All right, looks like we got Gonz here, and it's time to kick it off. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Domandgon Sports Talk. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Stay safe while you're out there having a good time. I'm Dom. That's Gonz. Gonz, how we feeling on this Sunday, Cinco de Mayo Sunday?
Well, we had a nice, wonderful weekend, didn't we?
We had a nice
Celebrating
weekend, man.
with the boys for Cinco de Mayo yesterday, and it was a very nice time. Got to drink a lot of margaritas. Hopefully, you guys can raise a toast with some margaritas today to a friend or a family or a loved one, and just have a nice day. Turn up on this nice weekend. I love it. I'm doing good.
Nice, nice.
Mhm.
And also stay safe because it's raining outside. I just got back in, and the weather is not for the week right now. But yeah, guys, lots to discuss, lots to talk about. The draft is over. The picks are in. We got our guys. First of all, can we just talk about the fact that we actually used all 9 picks that we had this year?
Yeah,
Like we didn't trade
no
back a
moves.
single pick. That's also very interesting to me. Actually, I don't know if you saw. I don't know if anybody saw today too. Before we discuss the main topics, but DaCosta was recently on a podcast this week, and he was talking about a team that called him in the second round, and you'll never
Hmm.
guess who that team
Oh,
was.
you know.
The Kansas City Chiefs called the Ravens to try to trade up in the second round. And the funny thing is, DaCosta was actually thinking about it. You know, he was like he consulted. He was like, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. And then the trade fell apart. The Chiefs were like, nah, we're good. We don't want to do it
Well,
anymore. Which is
do you
which
know why?
why is that?
Oh, so you don't know why?
No, I didn't know why. I didn't hear the explanation of
The
why.
Ravens weren't far enough ahead to where they thought they could go. So they traded with the Bills because the Bills had a higher pick
No,
because
that is
they were
true.
convinced Baltimore was going to draft Xavier Worthy.
No.
That's not right?
No. I'm saying no. We weren't gonna.
Oh,
I
oh,
don't think we were
oh.
probably gonna draft Worthy.
I
I don't
thought
know.
that was why they traded because they saw the clip of DaCosta at the combine going crazy over Xavier Worthy's 40 time. So I
That was
think
like a
they were
setup
convinced
too.
that that's who we were going to get, and they really wanted to make sure they got him. So
I feel like that.
trading with the Bills would ensure
I feel
that.
like that would
Um,
be. I feel like that would make a
because
lot of sense though.
if we
If
get
that's the case.
Baltimore, there was a couple more teams in between there that, you know, there was a
That could
couple
have
more
scooped
teams
him.
in between that could
Yeah,
have had a shot at him.
yeah, that could have scooped him.
So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, and they were convinced that the Ravens would get them if they stand pat. So they made it happen. They got there another speed, so they got a track team over there in Kansas
Dude,
City.
it's freaking crazy. Then you got Hollywood. Oh my
He's not that
gosh.
good.
Listen, but a competent quarterback can make receivers look like freaking Randy Moss.
As they
But
showed last year. Yep.
yeah. Um, but yeah, man, it was very interesting to me that the Chiefs called us. The fact that the Bills keep trading with this team, I'm starting to think the Chiefs have like something on them. Because there's no
Well, I
way
can't
that
believe the Bills agreed to
the
that. That
Bills
was
agreed
crazy.
to that trade. You let the Chiefs get another weapon. You literally let them get Mahomes, and then you let them. You're letting this team build up to destroy you. I'm trying to figure it out.
Just know that
The Chiefs have.
the Chiefs' time is running out. It's okay. I mean, eventually Andy Reid's going to retire. Eventually Mahomes is going to get old. Eventually Travis Kelce, who's 34, 35 years old, will be done, and their time will come. Just be patient.
It's so crazy too because he just signed that 2-year extension. So I'm like,
That's all right.
uh,
He's in his mid-30s.
yeah.
I mean,
I mean, he's gonna want to stop playing at some point. I mean, he's relented. I'm not saying he's gonna. I mean, he's hinted at it a couple of times. That dude, I'm tired. Like my body
I
hurts.
I
Like, and it
think
gets to that point.
I think the peak of the Chiefs has already passed.
I hope so. Dang it,
So
because
it'll be all right. It'll be all right.
yeah,
We just got to thug it out and take them down if we can.
I
But
think we
they're
can.
going to go down a little
But
bit.
yeah, I think we can.
You should have heard
But
what Dom said yesterday about the Ravens, how he's got a surprise lock-in pick for the whole next season. So we'll see if he owns up to it or if he changes his mind.
I feel
But
like
anyway,
though, like once we get the schedule release, that's supposed to be coming out this week. I mean,
is it
there was
really?
a, I think so because there was like a trailer for the release or whatever, and people are
Well,
saying,
yeah.
yeah, because they keep
Ooh,
saying,
that would be
oh,
fun.
it could be like May 9th or something. To my knowledge, I don't know if that's out. It's not confirmed, but people are saying it should come out maybe on Thursday. So we'll see how that goes.
That
Um,
would be fun.
yeah, that's going to be interesting to see where this all falls together for the 2024-2025 season. But all right, now that we got all that Chiefs stuff out the way, draft is over. Let's talk rookies. The rookie minicamp was underway, starting on I think Thursday, I believe. The rookies got off the bus. We actually signed, to my knowledge, 5 of 9 rookies to deal so far. Nate Wiggins was the first round pick from this year's class to sign a deal. To my knowledge, it's about a 4-year deal. I think worth at least like maybe $12 million. I think it's fully guaranteed. I think it's like 12.6, 12.7, something around there. The other rookies that signed, Sanusi Kane, our 7th round safety. I believe Rosengarten signed. I know we were still waiting on Adisa Isaac, the quarterback we drafted, Leary. And I know there's like 2 more guys. So that's good that the Ravens are locking in most of these guys early ahead of camp. We still have 4 more guys that we're still waiting on, which is good. So far from Harbaugh's talk, most of these guys are doing really well in camp so far. He's been really impressed with Wiggins so far. He said that, obviously he's a rookie, so there's still a lot of things that he has to work on. But fundamentally, I mean, he's been putting in the work. He said his speed has been very well noticed while on the field. Dude is fast as a cat, as quick as a cat. So that's good to see. There is a couple of scares. Some guys had some tweaks, some minor injuries. I wouldn't really call them like major injuries, but they were a little hindered out
Who,
there.
the pass rusher?
I think he was
Of
one.
course.
And I think it was the undrafted free agent safety we had out of Maryland, College Park. Bo Braid, the safety that we assigned as an undrafted free agent. I think he tweaked a little something. But other than that, I think they're working through camp and they're doing pretty well, for the most part. So that's good to see. I'm hoping we see that more as main camp starts, as we get ready to get these cuts in at some point before the season starts. But I mean, I'm liking what I'm hearing from Harbaugh so far.
No, Harbaugh needs to win the Super Bowl, but that's another topic we can get. But yeah, that's cool. Again, this is all speculation. It's good to hear that we're excited about the draft, but again, who's not excited about their draft class? So again, we'll see what happens in July when they have the training camp. I know they're doing their mandatory mini camp in June, so we'll be checking that out. But again, you gotta put your money where your mouth is. Especially you, Mr. Nate Wiggins, who said you're the best corner in the draft. I'd love to. I need to see that. So yeah, keep it up and keep the hype going. Now let's translate it to the football field in September.
Yeah, I'm actually the one rookie that I'm really interested in seeing and playing is Walker. I just want to see how him and Lamar are gonna connect if he were to maybe get one of those, not really one of those main roles, but one of those wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4 roles, behind Nelly and Bate and all those guys. I just kind of want to see where he fits in. I mean, from the tape that I've seen, he's a really great deep ball guy. And, we really tried, and we saw last year that connection between Bateman and Lamar wasn't really that great. So I'm hoping that, after this year, they'll get that together. But if we can have 2 of them, I mean,
Well,
yeah, I'm fine with that too.
I'm glad you brought Bateman up because I want to talk about him for a second. He had an interview recently, and he was asked about all the relationships that he has with Lamar, and he basically said the injury was the reason why they had no chemistry because they couldn't train in the offseason at all. So, I mean, that is a valid excuse. So you better train your butts off this summer, and then if there's still no chemistry in the fall, then I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I still kind of think that was already a little bit of an excuse, but that's just me. But we'll see. I mean, he's got a valid point. So get a full summer of training in, and let's see how they do together on the field. Hopefully it'll be better. I mean, because he was good with Zay. He was pretty good with a lot of people. Isaiah Likely. I know I've seen them train together in off the field activities or non-Ravens affiliated activities. So I guess it does matter. So go ahead and get your work in this summer. Hopefully he can work with the entire wide receiver groups and get all that chemistry down. So we'll see. But go for it, Bateman. This is your year.
Yeah, I agree. I think, well, one, I do think it's a valid excuse. I mean, if you're not on the field to be able to train, that's fair.
That's
But
fair, yeah.
but I also agree with you to that standpoint. If this year we do not see that connection, something's got to give.
Well, he's
You know what
here
I
for
mean? Like,
Baltimore
yeah,
26. So
yeah. So, I mean, like we had to see it at some point because it's not, again, I want to reiterate to the people, Bateman is not a bad receiver. Let's just get that out of the way right now. He's a very good receiver. And if you guys have seen, like, and you don't, turn the tape on, like, if you really want to know, turn on the film, because the guy, first of all, he gets tons of separation. He's a good route runner. I mean, like, I know he's had the drops. We have seen some drops, not, I mean, yeah, but he is a good receiver. And I'm not going to lie, on some of those throws that him and Lamar didn't connect on, he probably could have had more yards and more touchdowns. I mean, like, let's be real. His stats look a little different as those throws connect. So he's not a bad receiver. It's just that you have to build that chemistry with your guy. I mean, like Zay and Lamar kind of, like, I feel like that connection was just there.
mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, like, Zay was electric. Like, whether it was in the jet sweep game, whether it was like in the deep ball game, like they were one-on-one, they were good. Like, Likely, like when Andrews went down last year and Likely had to step up, like, you could, like, it just hit. You know what I mean? Like, the connection was just there. Like, and Lamar trusted Likely to just go up there and get it. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's so at that point, and we already know the Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews connection. That's just been established since they've been drafted. But my thing is, you just get Bateman locked in with you. Like, y'all two just stay locked in and just get that practice in with each other, learn each other's motions, learn each other's, like, what's the weaknesses, what's the strengths. Like, can Lamar get that ball to a certain spot? If he can't get it to a certain spot, let me make sure I get to a spot that he can get it to. If Bateman, struggles to get to certain places on the field, let me work on making sure I can get the ball to that certain place where he has success. You know what I mean? So it's a two-way street for the both of them. But if that connection, if they can build a strong connection, we're dangerous next year. Because the offense, like, we have more people we can get the ball to, and the offense can be spread out, kind of like how it was when Andrews went down last year.
Yeah, well, you're walking right into the next topic, or for me, a nice transition that I know we've been talking about a lot. We talked about it yesterday. If we talked about it earlier in the year, forgive us, but I do really think it's a main point of concern for Monken too, as an offensive coordinator, and that is, how do we utilize both of these tight ends to where both of them can go crazy and not just one of them? I mean, that is the number one challenge I feel like that Todd Monken has this summer to get ready for the season. How do we utilize every playmaker on our roster and not just pick and choose who's going to get the ball? You've got to be able to utilize these guys. And same could be said for the running backs as well. How do we utilize everybody to our advantage? Your play calling has to be smart. It has to be deceiving. It can't just be a heavy set where you're going to give it to Derrick Henry and the defense just run commits and it's a loss. I mean, you've got to use these guys to your advantage so then you can, keep the defense on his toes while getting people involved. I mean, there's definitely a way to do it. I mean, you see other teams do it all the time. You see the old Patriots do it with all those playmakers, Gronkowski, Welker, Randy Moss, all of them, Aaron Hernandez back before he was before he went downhill. So it's definitely possible. I mean, you gotta do it. You just gotta plan. You gotta make good game plans and not make crappy ones like you did in the AFC Championship. So
yeah, I agree.
Keep everybody
I think it's
honest while using all your guys. I mean, it just makes it that much easier for you on offense if you utilize more of your guys and let them eat instead of only taking one on the field and then using like one wide receiver. Says put all of them on the field. Make the defense have to cover everyone, and that would just make it so much easier for your quarterback and just take the pressure off of your offense as well as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, you hit it on the nose. I think, like, having too many is not a bad problem. As far as guys you can get the ball to. To your Andrews point, I mean, we know what Andrews and Lamar can do. Like we've seen it time and time again over the course of these past couple of years. But now you're having other guys who are also coming up in those ranks. Like Zay last year, like I said earlier, was electric. Like big plays, whether he was, like I said, out of the jet sweep game or whether he was catching those long balls from Lamar, like and scoring those touchdowns. He's just quick, and his change of direction is crazy. And then you have Likely again, who emerged last year as another deep ball threat who could just jump up over everybody and go get it. Like so, and then he's also like his balance like on the sideline is also insane. So you have someone like that who can stretch the field for you back there. As far as the running backs are concerned, let me not forget Nelson Aguilar, who had decent hands for us last year. He caught a couple of touchdowns for us in clutch situations, so I got to give him to him for that too. And then you have the running back game. Henry is 30, right? So, I mean, it's not like I'm not saying he's lost a step already because obviously I'm not going to. I mean, the guy's a freaking exercise freak the way his routines go. So he's taking great care of himself. But he's 30. So, I mean, obviously, I'm not saying give him 40 carries because we have running backs back there who have also proven themselves. I mean, Justice Hill, say what you want, Justice Hill played great last year. I'm sorry, like he played really, really well last year. I mean, out of the run game, he was a great pass catching back for us last year. I feel like he was probably our main pass catching back. I mean, he was electric as soon as he had the ball in his hand. The fumbles were a little much. But other than that, when he wasn't fumbling, he was getting great gains, at least 4 or 5 yards a pop, I feel like, last year. Keaton, we already know what Keaton showed us last year. The guy is quick as a cat, and he just, as soon as he gets the ball, he gets one juke, he's gone. Like, we saw that last year. Like, you have guys who can make plays with the ball. But you have, Monken, to your point, Monken's job this offseason was to find a way to utilize all of them so we are not one-dimensional, while also not abandoning the fact that Lamar is just as electric with his legs. We cannot let Lamar lose his identity on the field. I get that when he's going against these quarterbacks, most of these quarterbacks are known for their arms. Like when you're going against Mahomes has a cannon. When you're going against Allen, we know he has a cannon. He's a gunslinger. When you're going against Herbert, again, great arm talent, gunslinger. We get that. But Lamar, we've seen the fact that Lamar can throw the ball. But what makes Lamar just as good as those guys or even better is the fact that he can run better than most running backs out there on the field. And I think that's kind of what happened in the AFC Championship game is that he lost his identity. Like I don't know if it's because like he was trying to, I don't know, and I'm not trying to speak for him at all. I'm not saying that this is the case. I don't know the fact that he was just going against those guys, going against Mahomes, and like, man, I just got to show that I can throw. I don't know if it's just the play calling where it's just like, yeah, we're just going to try to outthrow him. I don't get it. But at the end of the day, Lamar is special because of his dual threat ability. The fact that he can throw the ball downfield and the fact that he can juke out your favorite defender and make him pray that he tries to catch him. Like,
it looked like he was jogging in the AFC Championship too. He got caught from behind on two plays that shouldn't.
Yeah, that pass to himself, I thought he was gone.
Shit.
I thought he was gone on that pass to himself. But like, it's just like you have to maintain the team, but also like utilize the whole team, but also maintain your identity. Ravens are one of the top running teams in the league. That's who you are. Like that's how you've established yourself. That's how you've won games. That's helped you get to the point where you're at now. The fact that you're able to run the ball in any way, shape, or form, and it works for you. So I think that, like you said, Monken has a challenge, but I think he can step up to it. His challenge is to utilize these guys while making Lamar feel comfortable in who he is. He's still probably a top 3 quarterback in this league. Let's not get it twisted. He's a 2-time MVP. Like he's not a 2-time MVP for no reason. But you have to make him feel more comfortable as the quarterback that he is. And I hope that, and this is not a shot at him, it's more so like respecting what greatness is. He is one of the greater quarterbacks in this league. Let's not get it twisted. I mean, Mahomes is great. But I mean, to this point right now, we're looking at an all-time great when it's all said and done. He's going to be a Hall of Famer, especially if he gets a bowl. Yeah, he just if he wins a bowl, he's going to be first ballot. Let's not get it twisted. But he just Monken's job this offseason is to get Lamar to be comfortable in who he is and utilize these weapons that we have. Because when we're clicking on all cylinders, we see what we can do. You saw what we did to Miami. You saw what we did to San Fran. Come on, man. We can do it. It's possible.
Are we going to, though? I don't know. I really don't. It's too early to say. But I don't know. I need him to just – I know we don't want to say this, but Mark Andrews, blessing or curse for Lamar Jackson? I'll let you go first.
I think he's more of a blessing. I know you're probably
not just respecting Mark Andrews. I know
right.
Yeah.
I know your reasons probably thinking the alternative, but I think from Andrews was just the first. You know what I mean? He just was the first person I feel like Lamar just got super comfortable with, and earlier in their career, it's like that connection was just so solid. You know what I mean? And it's just I just feel like he's been more of a blessing to him than he said it before, they're like peanut butter and jelly. That's his dog. You know what I mean? So it's
flowers wide open, throw it to him.
Yeah, you're right. But
how many times have we seen it? Go ahead. I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's he was more of a blessing to Lamar than a curse, I would say.
Oh yeah, early on for sure.
Yeah,
but I have to acknowledge that his stats, and I know stats aren't everything. It's not as pretty when he's on the field, especially the past two seasons. I mean, he has looked like he is more of a complete quarterback when he is not playing, which sucks because Andrews is so good. I just feel like he trusts him so much that he'll just throw to him when there's nothing open. He won't try to run or extend the play. He'll just throw it, and it's incomplete, or most of the time, or picked. And I think I don't want to say trust Andrews less, but he needs to find a way to spread the ball around and not lock on to his big X factor tight end. And I know Mahomes does that with Kelsey, but it's a little bit different, I think. That chemistry is just out of this world completely. I mean, they just do crazy stuff, throws it up for grabs, and he'll somehow catch it. I don't know how he does it. But we've got way too many playmakers for him to do that. Way too many. And that's the difference between the Chiefs and the Ravens. The Chiefs don't have that many playmakers, or they didn't last year, except for Mahomes and Travis Kelce. So the Ravens have way too many other weapons for him to do that. And I hate how likely has to fill the void. He shouldn't have to fill any void. He should be able to still go crazy when Mark Andrews is on the field. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. So that is one thing that has frustrated me about this Ravens team over the recent seasons. You just have to utilize your playmakers, and as a quarterback, you have to be able to look around, see the field well. So I'm not going to go ahead and say curse, but as of recently, it's been a little bit more of a curse than a blessing recently. But overall, no. You see what I'm saying? Because you keep doing this. You're doing this.
Oh, I'm about to say, I thought it had to be more obvious like that, but I'm guessing
no.
I'm guessing it didn't matter. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I think, and it just I don't know. Just be a complete quarterback. You make reads. It doesn't matter who the X factor is on the field. I mean, obviously, if it's fourth and whatever, and you want to do that, but I just find him doing that a lot more than he needs to when he's got great playmakers in the flats and in the backfield where he could just dump the ball off or run himself.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. I think, like I said,
the quarterback, but that's what it looks like at times.
Yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying. And again, Andrews is such a threat out there on the field that, teams have the game plan around, what he can do. But it's also to a point that when you have those other guys, how are they going to step up and they have stepped up? Let's not get it twisted. They have stepped up. How is Lamar going? Because when Lamar drops back, who's he looking for first? That's the question. And we all know who that is. He's looking at Andrews first. That's probably no question at all. And then when Andrews isn't there, when the double team is there, when the linebacker comes over to cover him, who else is out there? Because you got Zay with the speed, right? If Likely is out there on the field, you have Likely who could be out there to jump up and get if he's one-on-one. You know what I mean? Or you maybe have a guy out of the backfield if Henry's not blocking, if he's going to catch, or if Justice Hill's coming out of the backfield, he can catch. You know what I mean? Like this is the challenge that Monken has this offseason is how we're going to get these guys. How are we going to scheme up plays for all of these guys? Because these defensive coordinators, like Steve Spagnuolo, is like he's a great defensive coordinator. Obviously, you saw it because the Chiefs just freaking won the Super Bowl. Like some of these top defense, and then the Niners defense last year. I mean, yeah, we cooked them last year. It's not. I mean, I get that, but to that point, it's like they still had a top defense last year. And these defenses are obviously going to look at what went wrong, what went right, and they're going to try to scheme up different ways to stop us. So what are we going to do to get our guys offensively ready to run this offense the right way so we can put up points? Because in the AFC Championship game, we left so many points on the board, it was absolutely ridiculous. So what are we going to do, Monken? How are we going to get these guys ready? And I think I honestly think
design plays where Mark Andrews isn't the first read every time. How about that?
And I agree.
I don't know if that's a Monken thing or if that's a Lamar thing.
But maybe they need to get in the lab together. I think Lamar I think should have the ability. I know he's talked about his ability on the out there during the game to maybe change the play. I think from this point, I don't know if his opinions, I don't know if he's giving his thoughts mid-game on what we should be doing. But I mean, I feel as though if he sees something that he thinks that can be exploited, I feel like he should be vocal about that too. You know what I'm saying? And I wish more would have been done in the AFC Championship game. If he saw that the pass really wasn't working, but Gus had that great pop of a run for however many yards or so, and not give up on it so easily, who knows what that game could have been. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying we had to run the ball every down, but I'm saying set up the run to maybe use the run to set up the pass, to get some play action in there, to do a little something making sure that this is an all-out effort to let this offense move. Because obviously Lamar knows what he's doing. He's out there on the field seeing the defense for what it is. So if his thoughts, I'm not saying Monken doesn't at all. I don't know what goes on the field. I don't know what goes on in practice. But I'm saying in terms of if this is not happening, maybe this is something that needs to be thought of. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Just getting the whole team, gauging the team, seeing what's going to work and what's not going to work.
That's fair. Get going this summer.
Yeah, absolutely. Please build Bateman, Lamar. Please get in the lab. Get in the lab and lock in. Get on the field. Learn each other. This is the time. Bateman is healthy. This is the time to do it. I mean, we've seen him training out there. I don't know where he was. I forgot where he was with the location where he was training. But
this is a giant season for the Ravens.
It is. It's a big season because we're not going to be as good as we were last year. I mean, that team was built to win last year. We had everything. We had the number one defense in the league, an historic defense, I should say, putting up the numbers that we put up last year. The offense started to click in the second half of the season, dropping just bombs on teams. We were built for it last year, and we didn't get it done. So now we lose some guys that we had last year. Now, mind you, we filled a lot of those voids in the draft. But these are rookies. I mean, that's a lot of pressure to put on rookies to try to fill a lot of those holes that we lost last year. But
best corner.
You know what?
He's the best corner of the draft.
I mean, he said so. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's true. He put in that confidence in himself. I love it. But I mean, this is the time. You have to do something. And there are still free agents out there. If you need some more veteran presence, I mean, especially on that defense, there are still some free agents out there. If we wanted to get a safety, Justin Simmons is still out there. We still have Gilmore who's out there if we still wanted corner help to help with these young corners. You know what I'm saying? There's still guys out there who can still make an impact for us if we wanted to still sign free agents to a one-year deal. But at the end of the day, this team, we have to do something while Lamar is still here. because Lamar's like 27 now. Like he ain't getting any younger. And at this point, yeah, I'm saying that like I'm not about to turn 26, but like we're saying that now. What I'm saying is like it's not getting any younger. Like right now, all we have to show for his talents is the championship appearance, and yes, some division wins on top of that. But like something has to give, and I think we have to reach the bowl at some point. We like it has to be because if not, we're just like look at what the Texans are doing with C.J. Stroud. Like you got him Stephon Diggs, you got him some help on defense to help him get the ball back. Like you get Danielle Hunter to pair up with Will Anderson, so you got two monsters on the edge, and then you drafted pretty decently in the draft this year to help out the secondary to get that stuff together. You picked up Joe Mixon to help with the run game because the run game wasn't really a thing for them last year. And so like you see like they're not trying to waste CJ Stroud rookie contract while he's still on it. Because they know when it's time to pay him, they're going to give him a bag because the kid is he's a force to be reckoned with. Like
yeah,
they're going to
after the rest of the years, but
yeah. So like what I'm saying is Lamar's not getting any younger, and we have to be able to continue to like try to make a run. And he can get us there. He's proven time and time again he can get us there. We have to be able to finish the story. Shout out to Cody Rhodes. We have to be able to finish the story. And if we cannot, then it's GG's.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I don't have anything to reply to that. That's basically what I've been saying.
Yeah.
All off.
Yeah. I mean, like it gets to that point where it's like, what we have this dynamic quarterback, one of the best in the league, whether people like to say it or not. Call him what you want. He's one of the top 3 quarterbacks in this league, and we only have an AFC Championship game to show for it. I mean, at some point, something's got to give. Like, he literally took Willie Snead, freaking – who else was on that receiver corps that year? Willie Snead and freaking – I forgot already.
Seth Roberts.
And like, he took those guys.
Yeah.
He got those guys to the playoffs.
Yeah, but that was a historical year with that running game. So
it was. And he was a part of that running game.
Last year, though, the passing game was a lot better, I thought.
It was. And that's a big shout out to Monken for that, too, because he was I feel like his scheming was a big part of that. But, I mean, like I said, we have this great guy at the quarterback position. So what are we going to do with it? We have a couple of good years with him left before that speed starts to decrease a little more. You know what I mean? So we got to do something. Last year, I felt like was really for us. I felt like it was our time to shine, and it wasn't. So what are we going to do? More questions than answers at this point until the season starts. We got a couple of months, but hard to say. But yeah, I think we pretty much covered everything we wanted to cover today. Is there anything else you want to get off your chest?
That's it. That's what we hit everything.
Okay.
Now it's time.
Well,
schedule release next week.
Yeah. So we will be prepping for you guys for the schedule release. We already know what teams are playing, so that's not really like I know that's kind of a no-brainer at that point. But we will be preparing to let you guys know our thoughts on our record this year. I'm not gonna lie, I was talking to Gonz yesterday, and I'm definitely gonna have some skepticisms coming this year. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. We'll just have to see how the schedule plays out. But if the schedule does drop this week, and rumor has it's going to drop on Thursday, we'll try to get you guys our instant thoughts. Well, probably not instant because we have to take a time to really like deep dive and analyze what the schedule is going to be. But once we do, we'll be back with you guys next weekend to let you know our thoughts. What's the Ravens' record going to be? I mean, I only lost by 1 game last year. Gonz kind of hit it on the nose. So shout out to him. I had us going 14-3. Yeah, I had us going 14-3 last year. He had us going 13-4. We did finish 13-4. If we would have beat the freaking Steelers, I digress. But it's only because we didn't play our starters, whatever. But
well, what about the
other
game? You forgot about that one.
Well, it was Drop City. Yeah. I'm sorry. The Drops. If we would have won that game for the Drops. I'm sorry. Yeah. But yeah. So thank you guys for joining us again for another episode. We'll be back with you guys next weekend. We'll drop a little something on Instagram, let you guys know when we plan to go live for our thoughts on the schedule release. If you love our content, don't forget to leave a like, share, comment, all that fancy jazz. Thank you for going with us through this journey. We're excited to share this journey for this season with you guys and so forward. So again, I'm Dom. That's Gonz. We'll catch you guys next weekend for the next one.